On February 2nd, 2008, 24-year-old real estate agent Lindsay Buziak drove to a vacant home in Saanich, British Columbia, to show it to what she believed were serious buyers. By the end of that afternoon, she would be dead inside that house, and nearly 2 decades later, no one has been charged with her murder. Lindsay was young, ambitious, and building her career in real estate. She was described as driven, friendly, and careful. She worked in a competitive market and was trying to establish herself professionally. There were no signs she was in danger, no obvious threats, no public disputes. Her life appeared normal. Days before her death, Lindsay received a phone call from a woman who claimed she and her husband were relocating and wanted to purchase property quickly. The woman reportedly had a noticeable accent and seemed very specific about what she wanted. She was interested in higher-end homes and insisted on viewing a particular vacant property in a quiet neighborhood. The call came from a prepaid cell phone. The woman provided very little personal information. Lindsay reportedly felt uneasy about the situation. She mentioned to people close to her that something about the call felt off. But as a professional, she proceeded with the showing. It was part of her job. The home selected for the showing was vacant and located in an upscale suburban area. On the afternoon of February 2nd, Lindsay arrived at the property. Her boyfriend, Jason Zalo, drove separately and waited nearby in his vehicle, planning to check in with her after the showing was finished. Witnesses later reported seeing a well-dressed man and woman approach the house around the same time Lindsay arrived. They appeared composed and calm. One witness stated that the woman may have been wearing a blonde wig. The three entered the home together. The door closed. That was the last confirmed sighting of Lindsay alive. After about 15 minutes passed, Lindsay's boyfriend began to feel concerned. He attempted to call her. There was no answer. He walked up to the house and knocked. No response. Eventually, he and his mother entered through the back of the property. Inside, they found Lindsay upstairs in a bedroom. She had been stabbed multiple times. The suspects were gone. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing appeared stolen. There was no indication of a robbery. The scene did not resemble a random act of violence. Investigators later indicated the attack appeared targeted. Police determined the phone used to contact Lindsay was a burner phone. It had been activated shortly before the initial call and deactivated immediately after the murder. It was never traced to a confirmed identity. There was no confirmed surveillance footage capturing the suspects leaving the scene. No clear getaway vehicle was identified. No physical evidence publicly tied any specific individual to the crime. Over the years, investigators have stated that this was not believed to be random. The property was selected intentionally. The meeting was arranged in advance. The suspects appeared calm and purposeful. The timing was precise. Speculation has surrounded the case since the beginning. Questions have been raised about who knew Lindsay would be alone. How did the callers choose that specific house? Why insist on a vacant property? Why use a prepaid phone? Why deactivate it immediately afterward? Lindsay's father, Jeff Buziak, has publicly criticized aspects of the investigation and continues to push for answers. He has stated repeatedly that he believes the case can be solved. Public walks and appeals have been organized in her memory. Nearly 2 decades later, no arrests have been made. No charges have been filed. The identities of the two individuals who entered that house with Lindsay remain officially unknown. A young woman building her career agreed to show a home to what seemed like legitimate buyers. A phone call set up a meeting. Two strangers arrived. The door closed. Minutes later, Lindsay Buziak was dead, and the people responsible vanished without a trace. Someone arranged that meeting. Someone made that call. Someone walked into that house prepared, and someone has remained silent ever since. The murder of Lindsay Buziak remains unsolved.